Okay guys, so to start off with, create a new layer and pick up the color that you want, and then just pick up softer brush and just start creating the base for it. So for that, you want to just make sure you're using medium sized softer brush, and then just start creating these hair-like structures or hair-like strokes which are curly or wavy. Now add some thick strokes and thin strokes as well for the base. Also, please do not pay attention to all of the layers that I had in the layers panel. Those are all just me practicing, different type of hair. Now just create a new layer just underneath it and just go ahead and fill the gaps in. So wherever you see a gap, just fill it in with the softer brush and make sure that you are putting less pressure. Now once you're done with that, that is our base. Now you're going to create another layer, and that should be above all of the layers that we have, and just start adding thinner hair-like strokes as I'm doing here in the video. So add thinner hair-like strokes, just decrease the size of the brush, and this time they should be a bit darker. Now to go darker on the hair stroke, you don't need to have a darker color, just put more pressure. So play around with the pressure that you're putting on the screen, and you don't even have to play around with the opacity, but if you find it difficult, if you find this whole pressure thing difficult, then you can again just go ahead with the opacity thing. But here I'm just make sure that the base should be lighter, and then when you add more and more strokes, they should get darker and darker. So that's what I'm doing here. Now once you're done with that, just go back onto the layer where we filled the hair gaps in, and then just choose a darker version of the color that you're using, and just start adding that dark color where the hair are kind of folding downwards. I hope that makes sense. You can actually see it on the screen. So just start adding that dark color. As you guys can see, I am being really gentle with that dark color. Just do not go crazy with that just at the moment, because we are going to be retouching those areas of those parts later on. So just make sure you're adding the dark color really lightly and really gently at this point. And once you are happy with the result, then just decrease the size of the brush and add the same color in the form of hair strokes and in the same parts of the hair, or on the same parts of the hair, and just start adding those hair-like strokes over those areas. Now once you're happy with the strokes, just make sure to blend the edges or the end points of those strokes so that they don't look crazy at all, and make sure you're not blending it all out. Just go over the ends of it really light-handed, and that way you're not gonna lose the whole stroke thing, and you still have really nice looking hair strokes in the hair. I hope that makes sense. Now just create a new layer above all of the layers we have, and select the base color, and you can actually pick a lighter version of it and just start drawing hair-like strokes with that light color. And here I'm again using the soft airbrush, so each step is equal to a new layer, so just keep that in mind. Now once you have that, just create a new layer again and pick up light pen from luminance brush set, and here we are gonna be highlighting. So before that, what I'm doing is I just increase the size of the brush up to the max, and I decrease the opacity because the brush is really vibrant, and I'm adding few more hair strokes as you can see on the screen, and I'm again just blending out any edges or endpoints of the hair. Now once you are happy with those lighter hair strokes, I'm just going in with the same brush, this time creating a new layer. As I said, new step is equal to new layer. So here I am adding highlights on the highest points of the hair, or where the hair are kind of moving or curving in the upward direction. I hope that makes sense. Now just put in that highlight wherever you want, and once you are happy with that, just pick up the blending tool. Make sure to decrease the size of the brush because you need to blend those highlight out in the form of a hair stroke. So if you don't know how the blending tool works, I have a tutorial on it, in-depth tutorial on how the blending tool works. You really need to learn how that tool works before you even start using it. So yeah, so if you know that, then yes, just start blending that color in the form of hair stroke. So just move that color with the blending tool in the hair stroke form so that it doesn't look crazy on the hair. So here I am just blending and make sure to just decrease the size of the brush, and also the opacity should also not be, up to the max, because we do not want to lose out everything or smoothen out everything. Now once you're happy with that, just go back onto the layer where we filled in all of the gaps of the hair, and pick up this time just pick up even a darker version of the base color, and using the similar soft airbrush, just go over those parts of the hair once again, just to make them even more darker. And this creates the whole realistic, natural looking kind of look whenever you are painting hair. Now it doesn't matter if you're painting straight hair, curly hair, wavy hair. This is a technique that actually makes the whole thing look realistic. So yeah, just go ahead and do that. And again, just to make sure, or just try to avoid using blending tool for this step. Even if you are using that, make sure you're not smoothing out everything or getting rid of everything that you have. So make sure to kind of create that dark shadow illusion by just using the soft airbrush. So just kind of start shading the whole thing by just using the soft airbrush. Just try and do that. So that's what I'm doing here. Now once you're happy with that, I am going back in on the layer where I created highlights, and this time I am going in with the white color and soft airbrush, and I am literally just really lightly going over those highlights with that brush. You don't really have to go crazy with the highlights, but you can actually skip this step, but I really like to do this just to add some additional highlights over the already highlighted part. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, and just so that those highlights don't look crazy, I am decreasing the opacity up to 60%. Now the last step is to create a new layer and place it at the very bottom of every layer that you have, and pick up softer brush and your base color and decrease the size of the brush so that the hair strokes are really thin and crisp. And I am adding those strokes on the outer part of the hair as baby hairs or as flyaways as everyone has. You don't really have to do that. You can literally just skip that step, but I love to do that whenever I'm drawing hair. So that is it for today's video, you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please do not forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Also, if you do create something out of my tutorials, do not forget to tag me on Instagram. I would love to see your artworks. Also, subscribe to my channel, support my channel, and yeah, I will see you guys next time.